So in 4.5 years at Warner, I've never made a video. It's kind of prompted me to do this video. And I think too, for something this personal, it's maybe more effective to hear the person speak than to just see something I've written. So, who I am right now, I think that at this point in my journey, my sense of who I am is best explained by who I'm not anymore. Because I think that for so long, there were so many things that defined me that from my past that, it was hard to move on, and it was, there were just so many things. And without getting too personal, there was one particular tragedy in my life that kind of defined me for many, many years. And I think that for me to say now that I'm happy and content and free from the past, that's kind of who I am today. And you can live in the past and let it define who you are, or you can choose to move on. And in one of my posts, I one of the pictures I posted was fear has two meanings: forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. And I think that it took me a really, really long time, but I did face everything and I did rise. And that's important, because who I am today is somebody who's a whole lot different than I was, 15 years ago. And yes, it has taken me that long, I think, to completely move on from the horrible parts of my past. And my ethics, I think my ethics have always been, I was taught from a young age. I was fortunate enough to have both of my parents, and my whole, I lost them both now, but they were together from the time they were 14 years old and until the day my father died when he was 76. So I had good influences, and I was taught ethics and to live a good life and do for others and care about others. And I've tried to live that way. Certainly not always been completely successful, but I tried to teach that to my kids, and I've tried to live that way. So I think you try to live in a way that makes you proud of yourself and also makes other people proud of you, and or at least I have. And I think I was pretty successful in that. My parents were meant everything to me, so it was important to me to live my life the way they wanted me to. And my spirituality over the years has, it's been different things. And when the tragedy happened, I'll just call it that, I lost my faith for a while, and I questioned whether or not there was a God, and how could there be? How could there be if he was going to let something like that happen? If there was a God, he wasn't doing his job, and he wasn't he wasn't a very good one, in my opinion, at that time. And I did go off the rails for a bit in my life, and I could admit that, and it affected my family and my kids mostly, and me, and certainly had a strong effect on my life and where I ended up, which is not a bad thing altogether. I ended up in a great place, and at my age now, I can say that all the roads that led me here were not always good ones. They were a lot of them pretty bumpy, but I'm here and I got here, and it's a good place to be now. Um, and I think that learning is important to me because one, it's there's always something to learn. Every day I learn something new, and how fantastic is that? I mean, you know, there's whether it's my life at work or my life with my kids or my grandson or my family members. I'm one of five siblings, and so there are lots of kids and husbands and wives, and I there's something to be learned from every one of them. And I think this class, this journey through this class for the last 5 weeks has been really eye-opening to me. And it's made me look at things in a different way, and kind of relive things that I really don't want to relive. I've tried to forget about, but I think too it's something that has opened my eyes to the fact that I I did have a lot of forgiving to do, and forgive myself and forgive someone else, and it's been a good journey through this class. I My eyes were opened, about different things, and I think one of those was the movies we watched in the lessons we learned through there. Is it's anybody can be a hero, and you can be a hero every day in your everyday life, whether you carry groceries for an elderly person, or you give a pair of shoes to a child in need. Whatever it would be, every day you can be a hero, and I think I was reminded of that in this class, and that was really helpful to me. It was really beneficial to me to make me think about those things again, because you get so distracted by life that you don't. Sometimes you forget these things, and at least I do. So I'm I think that my spirituality now, my faith is strong, probably stronger than it's ever been in my life, I would guess. I understand it better, and can say that I feel like spiritually this is probably the best place I've been, at least for a really, really, really long time. I've had a lot of loss and tragedy in my life, and like I said, question God, question God's existence, and that's not a good place to be. I didn't, I don't, that doesn't make me feel good. And so, where I am now is, and hopefully going forward, as I get older, I just, think and hope and pray that my faith will just keep getting stronger and stronger, and I'll have, more God moments, I guess you could say, and I'm really happy that I was able to take this class and experience everything that it had to offer. It was a lot of work. It came at not the most opportune time for me in my life, but I made it work and I'm happy I did. And I hope all of you got as much out of it as I did.